I've torn my house apart again. Hey friends, what's up? This is Deeply Madly Modern. I'm Kelly, and we're gonna do a dining room tour today. I'm actually super excited about this because this room has gone through a lot in the last 2 years. When I bought this house, I was designing it for me and my family, and then I knew other people would stay here. And so when you have that kind of situation, you have to just know that like people will never treat your stuff as well as you do. And so I wanted to go for like really durable materials. So we did things like glass tables instead of wood, which wouldn't have been like my first choice, but with wood tables, like people don't use coasters, people scratch things up. So we had this like beautiful, well, let's start with the room empty, okay? Quick room, empty, she's cute. She's a little challenging because the room is a square, and the way that the kitchen, like galley kitchen and the island is set up makes this living space a rectangle, but it's kind of like not a long rectangle, if that makes any sense. So I kind of wish it was like living space here, kitchen there, but we work with what we have, right? So we had this gorgeous little setup. So this was a dining space before. It was on this side of the room, okay? So we're doors there, kitchen's there, we're here. So the dining situation was there. The current dining situation is here. So these pictures are from my beautiful friend, Jenna Pelfey, who shot this for Domino Magazine. And so we had this really cool vintage glass table that I loved. The base of the table, the base was basin, okay? And we had these really fun vintage chairs and some artwork, keeping it super simple, pedestal in the corner. Like, it's a vibe, right? It was really cute. I struggled with a couple of things. One, I don't love a glass table because I just get the ick way more easy than like the regular folks, you know what I mean? So seeing things like a fingerprint when I'm about to sit down to eat, send your girl. Like, I know it's so specific, but we all have our things, okay? And then the dining chairs were great, but they weren't like the deepest, widest chairs. So they were a little like, you know, you're sitting pretty, you're good, super sturdy. Like I felt like it was holding my weight and everything. It was just more like wanting more cheek space. You know what I'm saying? More cheek space. So I knew that I was going to swap this out. I have a beautiful wood dining table that I was thinking about using, but I was also kind of like, maybe I'm gonna want that to be a desk. And then I had this insane parchment table. So when moving, I basically was like, you know, did a massive purge. We did a massive sale. And I also wanted to just kind of figure out what stuff I wanted to keep, what was going to actually work in this space. And so I brought this sick parchment table. It's like square, so kind of weird, but like I was obsessed with it, am obsessed with it. And it lived in my old apartment as a dining table, and then it was kind of just like a side table. But since I don't have that much space here, I went from basically 2,500 square feet to 1,400 square feet. So we lost a lot of square footage, you guys. But I brought the table and I was just like, you know what, let me live with it. And so I put the table kind of floating in the room. I think it was super cute with my little green chairs. And then the sofa was over here. Photo of the sofa with my new favorite mirror here, right? So it was okay. It was okay. But what I realized is like when I have guests come, it's never just too deep. Like my family rolls in 6 deep. Like I needed more space, and I love to entertain. I love to dress tables. I love friends over. I like to sit at tables. Like I didn't grow up really watching TV on a sofa. And so because there's a TV in here, I just like sitting at a table. Okay. You don't need all the reasons, but I like sitting at a table. So I wanted to figure this out. So lucky for me, I did a partnership with All Modern. This is not a sponsored video. Full disclosure, I did a sponsored Instagram post. I have no obligation to post here. I just really love what I created, and so I want to show you, of course. So I was picking out tables and I saw this table with a base. The base was base, and like your girl loves the base, okay? A table base will get me every time. And I was like, this is such a like subtle but sleek and just cool little moment. And I was like, this will make a great table. And if ever I change my mind and want to use it as a desk, because I love a huge desk too, it would work both ways. You know, I like furniture that is flexible in case you want to move things around, right? So I got this table and I was like, all right, I want to figure out how I'm going to style this, where I'm going to put it. So my natural inclination was to put it in the same space that the glass table was in, which was here. Let me just show you a quick video of what the space looked like when I bought the house because it was staged. And they had it flip-flopped. And so of course I did the opposite because I didn't like their style. The small little table they had pushed against the window, and then there was a sofa on this side. You guys, it was crazy town. And listen, if you like this kind of furniture, I love that for you. For me, it's a hard no. Like, no personality. It's giving came in a box, like not the vibe, right? And a lot of furniture comes in a box, but that shouldn't be your first thought when you see it, right? So I got this table in, and I am completely loving how it looks. So I'm going to show you what I've done. We flip-flopped the space. So now we have dining table situation over here. And all this to say, before we jump into showing you, sometimes you have to live in a space and see kind of what's working for you. You know, how it was set up before, more photos from the Domino shoot. It was great. That's my friend on her way. It was great, and I think it worked really well for that purpose. Sorry, my friend's blowing me up. But I want it different for me, right? So let's get into the new dining room. I'm so excited to show you. So here's the dining room. I'm loving this little setup. The table base, as you can see, is really kind of just like a mid-mod fun take. I really love it. I love the coloring of this wood. I'm going to be changing out the rug. I'm not really sure what we're going to do here. I really like these chairs, which are super comfortable. And yeah, I feel like this mirror is kind of like the star of the show. I have such a thing with mirrors, and I was wondering if like you guys would want to see kind of like really cool places to find mirrors. I find them both vintage, used, and also there's a lot of new places, contemporary at every price point, that you can find like exceptional mirrors that work not just as a reflective surface but as art. And I definitely feel like this mirror gives that. So let me know if you want a full video about how to find and style really sick mirrors. So what I did is I just centered the table to the mirror, which already was hung. As you remember, the sofa was right under here. I hung this light fixture. So I have an unusual amount of like pocket socket lights, whatever they're called. And I feel like a lot of kind of renovators just throw them all over the place. My plan is to remove all of them and probably end up doing like some sort of centerpiece. The ceilings aren't terribly high, so I'm gonna do something flush, but like at least it would feel cool, you know what I mean? And so I hung this light in the corner to just give more of a vibe. So it's kind of gonna take the place of a lamp. And even though it's not hardwired, this was actually supposed to come with a plug, and it didn't. And so I'm just gonna for now use some of those remote control light bulbs, which I will link in my Amazon. And so, you know, you don't have to hardwire sconces and light fixtures. You can just hang them, and then there's totally like remote control light bulbs that you can use. I took a few pieces from my favorite shelving system. It's the Magashetti shelves that I have that are like iconic, vintage, amazing. I love that they are modular, so you can take as many pieces as you want and put them wherever you want. So this is kind of giving like a makeshift shelf slash bar cart. So it's a great place to just stick extra bottles of wine, some books, and some fun accessories. I love how it looks, and I just think it's like minimal, modern, and unique. You know what I mean? Like it's giving personality and vibes. On this side, I just decided to do a really cool plant, which I love this plant so much. It moved all around my apartment, and she kind of just goes where you need her to go. She's super flexible. A lot of plants don't let you move them around, but she's that girl. She needs a good amount of indirect light. She wants minimal water, but frequently, you know, she just like, love on me and I'll be good to you. So I love her, and she's in a vintage pot that I got from a flea market, I feel like earlier this summer. And above that, I hung this really cool piece of art that I got from a flea market. I think I got this last year. And I remember the woman I bought it from. She had like the best stuff. And I walked right over to it like a beeline, and she saw me, and she's just like, great piece. And I'm like, yes, sis, that's mine. So I love this, like the small little art gives like, again, more personality. It's vibey. And so yeah, here's my little dining setup. And it's okay if you don't have like a proper dining room. You can still entertain like 6 to 8 people can sit here comfortably, and it's still like not sort of encroaching on the actual living room, which I'm excited about figuring out. It's completely just in disarray right now. Like I'm looking at sofa pieces just slung across from me taking everything apart. But this side of the room feels good. Like feels like we know what we're doing over here. There's so many updates that I can't wait to kind of get working on. But for now, this is the living room. Not my AC being so shady and coming on now. I'm like, girl, you saw me fighting for my life over here, talking and wearing sleeves and having on makeup, and now you come on when we're almost done? The shade. There are so many more things I want to do, and I'm finding decorating to be challenging because there's some structural things I want to do. And so it's kind of like, don't pick out furniture that you are not going to like commit to for a very long time if you're gonna like remove a wall. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be really cognizant of all that, but this feels really good. It feels like the right place. I do have some thoughts about how I wanna sort of situate the living room situation. And what I'm thinking is it'll be kind of like an L-shaped sofa with its back to this area, and you'll still have access to sliding doors to get, you know, into the backyard with like a very like wide, generous path, so to speak. But yeah, like I feel like the kitchen might change. Like we have a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So I hope you really like the dining room and enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to give us a little comment, let us know. Also feel free if you, no pressure, okay? No pressure, babe. But if you watch this video and you like it, or you watch my videos regularly, don't forget to subscribe because it's actually very, very helpful and I super appreciate it. All right, thank you so much for watching. Love you, mean it. Bye.